Um, Hi guys. My name's Nicole. I'm the mother of two kids and two dogs. Um, I was diagnosed with HIV in August of 2013 and have been undetectable since January of 2014. So I'm just over 10 years undetectable. Yay. Um, so my story is basically my late husband took his life in March of 2012. He had borderline personality disorder. He was an alcoholic. He was also a sex addict. Shortly after he passed, I got sick with mono. I was sick for months and months, like all through the summer. Um, and that fall, I had shingles. Um, and in hindsight, if somebody that young, I was 40 at the time, has shingles, they should automatically be tested for HIV. Um, I didn't know that. My primary care physician didn't know that. Could have been caught sooner, but um, the following summer, I got thrush. And being that I research everything, I literally research everything. I was pretty sure that I had HIV before I even went to the doctor's office. When that test came back positive, when I did go in August of 2013, I was terrified. The only thing that I had knew about HIV was from Forrest Gump, and I'm sure many people can relate. Um, Growing up in the 80s and seeing Jenny in Jenny, right, in Forrest Gump, had got diagnosed with HIV and she died. And all I knew about HIV at the time was that people died from it. I thought my kids were going to be parentless. I was freaking out, to be honest. It took almost a month for me to get into a specialist, excuse me, the infectious disease doctor's office. And like I said, I researched. So before that appointment, because I was needed to calm myself down and figure out what was going to happen with my life and my kids and my family, I researched for practically 40 hours straight from my time of diagnosis to find out, in fact, that I was going to live and not only live, but live as long as probably anyone else that I know and live a healthy life. Once I got on medication, it was about 3 months until I was undetectable. I started medication in October, I think, and I was undetectable by January of 2014. Um, so in the fall of 2017, the CDC acknowledged that HIV, if it was undetectable, it meant that it was untransmittable. Many of you have probably heard of the U equals U campaign that was started not by the CDC, but um, because of the CDC was admitting it, I decided to come out about my status. So I created a group on Facebook called This is HIV, disclosed my story. I had, of course, told my family before then, but when I did post that on social media, I worried about losing, how many friends are going to unfriend me? How many people are going to, how much hate mail or whatever am I going to get? Um, but the overwhelming positive response that I got from literally everyone, I didn't get any negative feedback at all. It was just absolutely amazing for me to experience that and not have literally had nobody saying anything bad to me. Through that group, that this is HIV, through my Facebook group, I've spoken with hundreds of people from all parts of the world, mostly through Messenger. Um, a lot of the people I speak with are from third world countries, and many of them who are positive are banished from their community. They get beaten on a regular basis by people that know their status, and some of them were even killed just for their HIV status. And that just made me just reinforce how incredibly lucky we are to live in a country where we have access to help, to medication, and for the most part, we don't have to live in fear for our lives simply because we have a disease. My main objective through my Facebook page and the other the other places that I've I've been on a news story here and posted in the Novant Health weekly, or I think it's a monthly article, but my main objective is to educate people. My focus for education is twofold. One is getting people to know their status. You don't know if you have HIV because you think you don't. So you can only know your status by getting tested. So getting tested is like number one on my objective. And statistically, this has changed. It was 1 out of 7 when I was diagnosed, but now it is 1 out of 6, at least the last stats I checked. 1 out of 6 people have HIV and they don't even know it. So go get tested. My second objective in education is to spread the word about U equals U, meaning undetectable equals untransmittable. People don't realize that once you're on medication, I mean, the general public doesn't realize that once you're on medication and you become undetectable, you cannot transmit HIV. This does require staying on your medication and getting tested every 6 months, but people don't realize that we're not, this will help end the stigma. People knowing that just because we have HIV doesn't mean that they're going to get it. So go get tested. And remember, just because someone has HIV doesn't mean they can give it to you, as long as they are undetectable, again, and follow their medication regimen. I do have my Facebook page. If you want any more information about my story or some statistics about HIV that you can read, you can visit my group on Facebook. It's called, you can find it if you hashtag "This is HIV." And you can see that here, I think. It's backwards, maybe. Hashtag "This is HIV." And I have the flower growing out of the V there because HIV is no longer a death sentence. We are growing and we are healthy like flowers in the spring. That's my story, and thanks for listening. When people look at me, you wouldn't think that I have HIV, not just because I don't look sick or anything, but I'm a white woman, and most the statistics show that we are pretty much, as white women, the lowest on the demographics that have HIV. That is growing. I mean, it's one of the faster growing populations, but being that it's one of the fewest, if that makes sense, I wanted to bring my perspective, I guess, to the group, and also learn more about what's happening to cure HIV. So I think between bringing my perspective and learning how to expand education by, our group volunteers for different things to educate the community, that's what drew me to the group, and I'm glad to be here.